And we are on. Welcome back to Unpopular Playground. It's a new season. We are into season 4. And a great way to start off is responsibility versus accountability. I'm Jenn Lin, and we have Debbie with us. Say hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
And what are your thoughts on responsibility versus accountability? They are two different things, but very closely related.
Well, first of all, I think responsibility is you have to own up to what you do. And the biggest problem today is that nobody, and it's not just the young people today, it goes right up to government officials. Nobody wants to own up to their mistakes. Everybody's very willing to push, oh, well, it wasn't me. This all came from what happened before me, or it was this one's fault, that one's fault. A lot of times it's blatant obvious that no, it was your fault. So the thing is, take responsibility for what you do because you learn from your mistakes. And then being accountable, it's basically like telling the truth or telling a lie. When you own up to, yes, I did this, I did say that, people will tend to trust you and believe in you more and support you. When you're not being accountable for what your actions or your words are, then people look at it and say, well, you know what? I don't have any trust or faith in this person because I know they're lying. And that's a big problem because once you lose faith and trust from people, you're basically standing on your own because those are two of the biggest things in the world today, faith and trust.
A good example of that are the politicians, as I think a lot of them, especially now with social media,
Uh-huh.
YouTube, and all of that, there's records of what they've said in the past and things that they're saying now. They're not matching up. I think they don't think to do a check on where was I standing before and now, and they're trying to gaslight the whole world as if they'd never said any of those things.
Exactly. Well,
Mental toxin,
yeah,
and
it's
which is sad. It's like we're not buying it. It's like anybody can go do a YouTube check, whether it's a politician or anybody else, any other public figure. It's very easy to see that you're not telling the truth, and now your reputation is shattered.
exactly. And if you can't speak the truth, then just keep your mouth shut. That's my philosophy. Perfect example. I raised an only child. Now, when I come into the room and I see the lamp is knocked off the table and I go, oh, what happened here? I don't know. Well, you're the only one that was in here. I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Yes.
There's nobody else here who did. I don't know. It wasn't me. And then you go, let me put it to you this way. There's no repercussions if you tell me the truth. But if you lie to me, then there's going to definitely be some repercussions. I did not do it. Okay.
Or the dog. We'll
Or,
try to
or,
blame the
or,
pets.
right. And it's like one thing that I cannot stand when people don't take responsibility or accountability is you are looking at me as that I am stupid and have no clue that you're lying. And that just tears me apart because it's like 4 years
Yeah.
of college and a degree, and you think that I'm going to believe what you're saying to me when it's like, I know the facts, they're blatantly obvious. And that's what people don't understand. When you don't take responsibility for what you've done or what you've said, people know.
Do something, and they still wanna act as if they didn't do it, and it's like, "I saw you do it,
Exactly.
and
So,
you're really trying to go with that and have
right.
me buy
Now,
this. Are you
ever
kidding?"
trust them? Would I hire this person? Hell no. Would I trust this
Right.
person to house sit my pets? Hell no. I mean, this is somebody that when I'm asking them a question and they're lying to my face and swearing to God of all things, it's like, forget it. I've lost all faith and trust in you. And it's like, I would prefer you say, yes, I did do that. But at least I feel you're an honest person. And if anything happens, I know I can trust you to tell me the truth.
Well, exactly. When I think of responsibility, I think of like a to-do list. These are the things that I need to do as a mother. If I don't do them, bad things are going to happen to my kids or myself. There's going to be consequences, either good or bad. And
Mhm.
accountability is kind of like, I think of movie credits. Whatever situation or event happens as a mother, as a politician, or whatever you're responsible for as a kid for their chores or their homework, at when that end of the school year's done, the end of this, that there's gonna be a credits reel. All of the things that you did or didn't do are gonna be on those credits. Be like, "Okay, these things didn't get done because you didn't do them," and your name
Right.
is gonna be attached to them. That is accountability. Good or bad, you're either going to get the reward because you were accountable, you took credit for all of that, or you're going to have to pay up something either in time, headache, whatever, because you didn't check off those responsibility, those things that you were responsible, that to-do list, you either
Uh-huh.
did them or you didn't do them. And that's what being accountable is for. Did you pay your rent? Did you pay your light bill? Did you do these things? Did you pay your car note? And if you didn't, they're going to take the car away, they're going to shut the lights off,
Right.
or they're going to kick you out because you did not do that checklist. That's probably the easiest way for me to kind of tell the difference between the two. It's your D day. You're either going to get a payday or you're going to get things subtracted from your life because you weren't able to handle those responsibilities. And you'll either be given less or none at all because people don't trust you.
I agree. That's a great way to look at it. And that's what school is supposed to teach the kids. This is in the beginning of the year, you get a syllabus. They tell you exactly what you're going to be responsible for learning and knowing and reports and whatnot. Come the end of the year, you haven't done any of that. And then you start crying and saying, well, I don't know why I'm not getting a good grade because my teacher, I handed everything in and my teacher didn't correct any of my papers. Really? But she corrected everybody else's paper and everybody else in the class is doing fine.
They're on that blame game, trying to
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
trying to take the credit, the bad
right.
credit, and put it off to somebody else and take all the good credit of
Right.
other people and attribute it to yourself.
But
That
it's
is
not.
not being responsible or accountable.
Yeah, it's not the teacher because if you were accountable and responsible, you would have at some point went and said, "Hey, what did I get on that paper that I turned in? Or did you get my paper that I turned in?" And because everything is trackable in school. You can look and see when
Oh,
now
yeah.
computers, you can see, okay, did this paper get turned in? Did it get graded? Why are you not tracking everything? I had a paper, I had a test. Man, I was on within 24 hours seeing what I got on the test, what my grade was.
Oh, 100%,
And if I didn't,
100%.
I wanted to know what happened. Did you not get it or whatever else? I mean, this was not, you know, by the end of the year, I wasn't sitting there saying, what do you mean I didn't pass the class?
The school's responsibility to grade them, to post them, and to give you feedback in a timely fashion so that you can adjust yourself. And if you're not given that, then they've lost their account. They were not accountable. So if you're not accountable, you're not able to be accountable for your to-do list and you're not accountable, you did not do those things, you are not a responsible person. If you check everything else off and you have the receipts for things not done, if somebody's not doing their part, you document that. And it's not that you're blaming, it's a fact. It's like, well,
Right.
I couldn't do my part because my part included little Johnny over there that's supposed to he did not do his part, so I can't. So yeah, there is a point to where it's not really a blame game, but it's like, well, I literally cannot do my part because they didn't do their part. So, but here's the receipts of all the things that I've done. So I'm
Right.
still a responsible person. So it's always important if that happens to where you're interlinked into a network that you take the names so that you have those receipts to prove that you're still an accountable person. That was beyond my control. I couldn't drive my car, but at the same time, I made sure to go and show them my papers. Look, here's my proof that I had my car worked on yesterday. I didn't just do a call out because I wanted to go take a fun day. I had no choice on this. And, to prove that I'm a responsible person, I just don't, when I'm expected to show up for work, I show up.
Right.
And I don't just call out indiscriminately just because I don't feel like going in. No, I have my receipt. I have my proof that this is why I could not come in. So, your reputation is gold. Take care of all of your duties. You've not proven that, then nobody's going to trust you. And good luck in trying to find a job. You'll never be able to be independent if you are not accountable for that list of responsibilities that you have. And we
Also have
are,
rise in life. Not everybody is the same and believes the same as somebody who is accountable and responsible. I have a granddaughter, very smart. And when she was in an academy school, and she would go, Donnie, I'm so frustrated because we have to do these reports. And I keep telling my teacher, why can't I just do it on my own? And she says, well, we're trying to build teamwork. And she's like, yeah, but I have my stuff all done. And I keep calling them. And it's like, where are you at? And it's like, "Oh, I haven't started yet." So she says, you know what? I told my teacher, I can't do this. It's causing me so much stress. She said, so I did the entire report myself, and I just broke it down into the sections, and I had my section separate so that if they did do their part, they could have added it into the power play. But if they didn't, I was presenting the entire report done by myself. She's like,
oh, yeah, I hate group
yeah.
projects. I think that's
And
communism
teacher
at its
was
best.
That was, she says, "That's fine, Trinity." She goes, "I hate the fact that you feel that you have to take this all on." And around, she said to her, she said, "But what are you going to do if only a half of the report is in? How can you mark it as, you know, an A grade when you don't have the other half of the report done, or the other half of the report is just
When they
wrong?"
did their part. And I
Right.
can tell you what I did as a teacher. I made sure that everybody did their part of it. Like, let's say it was a state project. Let's say it was the state of California. Everybody did their own part of the project, and that was their separate project. And so they only got grades on their writing and their project and their part of it. And that's where the weight was. And then the presentation was very little. It's like, okay, they
Yeah.
still got to take those part. Like somebody wrote about the state bird, the state, and then putting it together, they would share as one presentation. But I did not grade that very heavily at all. So that way they felt like their grade was theirs and nobody could skate off of "Oh, well, I don't have to do anything." And because the smart people would do everything
Right.
and I'm gonna get one grade. That was done to me. I was not gonna perpetuate that
Right.
cycle, and
So
I never did that as a teacher. Everybody had to do their fair share. But they did it in college. That and I ended up doing the whole thing because I wanted a good grade. That was important to me, but the lazy other people, they happened to get by on that. I ended up going to tell one of the professors, I said, "Look, they didn't do their part. They shouldn't be included." I just excluded them. I was like, "Look, if you're not gonna do your part, were you gonna plagiarize like you just did when I checked your work? I'm trying to type everything out. You plagiarized, and then that's gonna be on the report. That's gonna go through the thing. I'm not gonna be so you either fix it or you're not gonna be in the group."
Mhm.
I'd be darned if I'm gonna do all this work and then have you skate off and get a good grade, and you didn't do your part.
Right.
No, no, no.
Right. And on that note,
On that note, we're gonna go ahead and close this off. Make sure to join us for the next session, which is going to be how this all applies with specifically to independence, responsibility, and accountability on some things to think about when you're going to start independently.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. All right. Stay curious, everybody. Bye.